Hey, welcome to Thirsty Amigos. Thanks for joining me on this episode. I am going to cover Treasure Bottles 101 on this episode. I just did a segment for the Distilled Spirits Museum. You can go look that up on the internet. Go check them out. They're doing really cool things with the distilled spirits out there with, I did the first of the collector series, going over collector bottles in my collection, and they're going to be expanding on that for everything. Obviously bourbon. I think they're going to do a scotch, probably a vodka. I'm sure there's some vodka collectors out there, and probably gin and all the spirits out there. So look forward to seeing more on them. So go check them out. It was a fun time. That got me thinking about. I had some questions, some feedback. What are treasure bottles? What are they? What are you talking about? So I'm going to cover treasure bottles just a little bit in this episode, and what we're going to cover. There's 4 categories of treasure bottles, if you will. So the first category is out of production bottles. So ones that are not made anymore, and they could be ones that they don't even make that product, or ones that are out of production where they don't, like this one, they're not made at that distillery anymore. They've changed distilleries, and so the juice has the tequila's completely changed, and it's not as good as it used to be, so people seek those out. The other one are low numbered edition ones, like this Cabo Millennial Añejo. It has a tag on it, and they're numbered editions. Single barrels, like this one over here, there's only so many bottles from that barrel that they produced, those types. And specialty bottles, so bottles that are special to you. You may have been gifted to them, like this really special bottle was gifted to me by Dave and Joy, some really good friends of mine. Treasure this bottle myself. I'll never let this go. It's a special bottle. It doesn't necessarily need to be a bottle that's rare or worth a lot of money to you. Those are bottles you personally treasure for yourself. And then we're going to go over modern day collectibles bottles, so treasure bottles that you seek out. So there are some out there, like these Corazon bottles from 2013, so fairly modern. There are some that I'll go over that are out there in the wild today, actually, and some that are coming out here in the next month or so that you can go treasure hunting for. So stay with me, join me. We're going to go over Treasure Bottles 101, and we'll help you out there if you're out there hunting a rare bottle or a special bottle for any occasion or for someone. Hopefully this will help you elevate that gift a little bit. So we'll see you in a little bit. Salud. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. So now we're going to cover out of production treasure bottles. So not every bottle that's out of production is considered a treasure bottle. There are some that are more sought after than others. And to be a treasure bottle too doesn't actually need to be full of tequila. Some bottles are special because they're empty, because they're, really, they tell a story of history and stuff. Of course, treasure bottles that are always full of liquid will always be worth a lot more than a bottle that's empty. We'll start with this Patron bottle that we've seen on the show before. This is when Patron was made by Siete Leguas. The Siete Leguas horse is on here, and it has the glass stopper on it. So that is what makes this a treasure bottle. It's the old school bottle, old punt at the bottom, the Siete Leguas horse, and the square label. This is the earliest bottles of Patron that were made this way. So that one would be considered a treasure bottle. Some bottles have a rare script on them. This Galadon is out of production, but the ones that are more sought after are the ones that say Gran Reposado. That technically wasn't a category back in the day, or even now. So anything that says Gran Reposado on them, they changed it just to say Reposado. So I have a bottle of that. I would consider this one that says Gran Reposado worth more. So this would be the one that would be sought after more. Going with the out of production theme and empty bottles and full bottles. These are the Cabo Wabo bottles that are out of production. This is the second gen bottle of Cabo Wabo. The first gen were all ceramic bottles, which are extremely rare, extremely treasured. These would be the second best to get. Of course, full is always worth more. But this one, if you ever see these out in the wild, grab it immediately. And it's a cool collectible because it tells the story again. You know, to me, it's a treasure bottle because it tells the early story of Cabo Wabo tequila, which back in the day was delicious. They made their name on this reposado. Here's this, third gen reposado, which is considered collectible to me. So has the hang tag. So this would be a treasure bottle too, especially full and sealed. And then we have a first edition Millennial Añejo tequila from Cabo Wabo. So this is definitely a treasure bottle. And I'm going to say worth money so throughout this whole thing, but I definitely don't collect for monetary value. For me, it's just being a collector and the story that they tell and having them in my collection. But yeah, I don't try to profit off any of these, so just put that out there. So yeah, so this is definitely a treasure bottle. If you see these, this one can still be found probably some old mom and pop shops out there. Another one that you can run across every now and then, I still hear stories, is Chinaco. The Chinaco bottles, any of these, Reposado or Blanco. I just happen to have the Añejo here. What you want to look for are these. There's certain lot numbers. Anything from M and lower for the alphabet. And this is not going to be a good, but this is a lower lot number. It'll have the letter and then the number of the bottling that it was. But what you want to look for, the most important, is right here. Tequila imported by Robert Denton. So if you see Chinaco, Robert Denton, importer, grab them all day long. They will be delicious. Herman Gonzalez is the master distiller, and they're good. It's a good bottle. Some more of the out of production. We'll go with Casa Noble here. They are not producing these ceramic bottles anymore, and these are some of the earliest ones. So if you see these black ceramic bottles, definitely pick these up. No matter what, it's a delicious añejo. Technically an extra añejo because it was aged 5 years, but it was before the classification of extra añejo was official. So on these, you want to look for the basket weaves, hand painted in gold, and they are all numbered at the bottom as well. So those are good ones. These are treasure bottles. This one especially, it has a super basket weave on it, and it has an old early tag on it with the number on it, and it has the old, if I can do it, Foster bottle. So these are, yeah, very sought after. And then on the Reposado, this is the old blue Tavalera looking one. So if you find one of these out there, definitely pick it up. They were numbered as well. These old ceramic bottles were nice. They're notorious for evaporation because these corks didn't seal very well. Sometimes the medallions will fall off of them too. The back label of mine has fallen off, and this is what's behind it in case collectors are wondering. But these are treasure bottles too. They're very beautiful, hand painted. I love these bottles. They're awesome display pieces, but they tell a story of Casa Noble when they were very delicious. Another out of production treasure bottle would be any square bottle Tapatio bottle. They don't make this shape anymore. And this is an early one, so this would be considered a treasure bottle for the Blanco. And I think the Repo, I think they have an Añejo in this one too. Another treasure bottle out of production is their old G4. This is a little bit of a newer one. But they don't make this bottling anymore. This is one of the early bottles. So if you see one of these, the early labels, grab them. It's definitely a treasure bottle. Highly sought after for the early labels of stuff. And talking about early labels, this is a Cazadores. This is the Reposado, how they made their name. This is a very delicious Reposado, and this is made at the old 1128 Nom distillery, so it is delicious. And there's the old deer on the front of it. So if you see these, the old labeling of these are considered treasure bottles too. So are the Gran Centenarios green labels, and there's a version of them that have the same color as this, a gold band down here too. Those are earlier. Those are even more sought after treasure bottles, but these green ones are now treasure bottles. They've changed it to blue, and the tequila inside is not nearly as good anymore either. So any of these green label Centenarios with the green band and green top are considered treasure bottles as well. So you want to make sure you grab those. If you see those, you will not be disappointed. This is a great tequila, very delicious, and it is a Cuervo product. Some other ones that have changed distillery, Chamucos. If you find any of the old Nom 1414 bottles, right down here. If you find any of those from distillery 1414, those are delicious. Those are considered treasure bottles. These old Frida Kahlo bottles, any of theirs, Repo, Blanco, and Añejo from distillery 1079 are considered treasure bottles too. And there's a lot more treasure bottles out there than what I have. There's some old Chinaco paper labels. Like I said, some of the old Cabo Wabos and stuff. This is just kind of ones I have. So if you see these, there's a plethora of information out there on the internet. If you join some of the Facebook groups, they can kind of guide you what's out, what's a treasure bottle. You can get a lot of answers, ask a lot of questions. And so just go to Facebook, type in tequila, and you'll come up with all kinds of groups out there. And they're more than happy to help you. And this one is El Tesoro's Paradiso. This is an early one. This has the Añejo. This is a treasure bottle too. They still make this one, but they don't make this bottling anymore. And this is an old B lot. So they had the A lot, which had no letter, were the first ones. B were the second lots. And this is an early bottling. And then now they went to the C lot in this bottle, and it says Extra Añejo on the C lots. And then also the faux wax top that was on there. It was clear and it looked like wax dripping. But any of these foil tops, if you see those out in the wild, please grab those. You will not be disappointed. Either it's an A, B, or C lot. They're all really good. But the A and B lots are, a touch better flavor, if you will. Let's see. And then we'll go with the Herradura out of production bottles. They don't make these old. They might make this style, but these are old bottles of them. These are ones before the pre-diffuser. I think we talked about this, but diffuser was put in 2002-ish, 2003, somewhere they're known as an exact date, but 2002 is usually the cutoff. So if you find any of these old Blancos or Repos or Añejos before 2002, you're pretty much guaranteed that these are treasure bottles. And this one's from 1996. So if these old 46, Blanco 46, these are really highly desired treasure bottles, especially pre-diffuser, and they are tasty also. And then this one's just a different labeling on them. But this one is also from 2001. So any of those are treasure bottles as well. And then the Herradura horseshoe one here, the short squatty bottle, if it's from 2001. And this one, same thing. You can see right back in there, it's from June of 2000. So yeah, any of these old ones that you can see. And then yeah, their Blanco with this one anyways, aged for 40 days. Just shy of the 60 days to become a reposado. And it's a delicious Blanco. So if you see those out there, the horseshoe ones, look in the back and see if you can see the date it was made. All Herradura and El Jimador bottles will have the date code on the back of the front label. And then let's talk about these guys, the white bottles, or white label, El Tesoros. They are definitely treasure bottles now. These are the second gin. The first gin bottles have like a brick-looking crest of it, and the agaves are silver relief, and those are extremely rare treasure bottles. And then next would be these white treasure bottles right here, and here's all three represented. And then so there's just a couple different levels to the treasure bottling, if you will. So these are the white labels, but then you want to go even deeper for nerdism. These are imported exclusively by, right here is the key, Robert Denton and Company. If you can find a Robert Denton white label, true treasure bottle right there. These are some of the earliest bottling of them, and the juice in here is just insanely good. So delicious. The next level, and I do have a Robert Denton silver, but just for historical sake, we're showing it. This is by Fielding and Jones. So the next level of white label El Tesoros would be Fielding and Jones. Down here is the importer. So Robert Denton first is what you want to see, and then you want to see Fielding and Jones. But any white label, especially nowadays, is worth snagging. Don't rest on it. You got to be careful, though. They do still make them in Mexico, or they used to. So some of the Mexico bottlings back in the day were not white label juice, as they would say. It's not the same juice inside. Same goes with the olive oil bottles. Some of those are treasured, and they're the more squared off bottles. And if they have a natural cork on the olive oil bottles, the square bottles, or the tall square bottles, they are considered some of the early juice. Those are now becoming treasure bottles too. When back in the day, all it was about the white label. And then, as time goes, you can't find these anymore. So you go to the next best thing. Again, just like the original OGs are the best, then these, and then now the early olive oil bottles are really sought after. So if you see any of those are definitely worth it. All right, so that is out of production treasure bottles that you want to see. Like I said, there's a lot more wealth of information out there. There's a lot more collectible bottles out there in the world too that are even more rare than what I have here on my table. So seek out the information on Facebook groups, or reach out to me too. We can have a conversation, and maybe we can get you in contact with some people who have. I know 3 or 4 collectors out there in the world who have massive collections with massive treasure bottles they trump everything I have here. So this is just a teaser taster, if you will, compared to what is out there in the world. All right, so let's go to the next category. We're going to go to low numbers and limited editions. All right, thanks for coming back. Now we're on to treasure bottles that are single barrels, limited numbers, or limited edition ones. So let's go over those. Let's start with the single barrels. It seems like I have a lot more single barrels than anything. I'll go with one of my oldest ones right here. Is Casa Noble Añejo. This is the 5-year. Before it was designated as a extra añejo. So it is a 5-year extra añejo. It's a single barrel. It's signed by Jose Pepe Hinomosa. He signed each bottle. On the bottom is the number 307 408. This one's still sealed. This was a special single barrel by Internet Wine and Spirits. Let me put that up there. So this was aged from 2001 to 2006, 5 years, single barrel, hand selected by them. So it still has the hang tag And it tells about them selecting it. So let's see. It was made with 14-year-old blue agave. That's pretty cool. So yeah, so this one would be a treasure bottle because of the rarity of it. Not very many of those. Only 409 bottles are out there in the wild. I don't know how many are still sealed. Next are the other Casa Noble. Seems to have a theme here with Casa Noble. This is their standard single barrel. Some of those are special. Some would be made for certain areas, for certain companies, and I'll show you that. But each one of these, you can see bottle number 267 out of 300. And I'll tell you barrel number 109. And again, it's signed by all that were involved. There's Jose, Pepe Jose, Hiomosa. And so that was their standard añejo. And then here we have a 8-year single barrel. This one's still sealed. This was let's see if you can see that. Single barrel, extra aged, 8 years old on this one, and it was by Drink Up New York. So this is one that they picked out, 8 years, still sealed. Let's go this way. Same thing, bottle number. This is 206 out of 300. Barrel number 265. Same with the autographs down there. I'm sure those are pre-printed on there. But then it's hand numbered, so 8-year designation. Because there was a 6-year also that they did. Same with Casa Noble. They did a Hoven for a little bit. This is from Party Liquors, I believe it is. Right there. I want to say Party City. They did a single barrel or a limited edition Hoven also, but this one is not labeled or anything. It just has the manufacturing date on it. And what it's compared to, if you look at these other ones, this is one of the first Hovens to come out, and this is by Argonaut Liquor here locally in Denver, downtown. This one is signed right here. Each bottle was hand signed by Pepe Hermosa. And then this is barrel 996, bottle number 276. I'm going to go with 236 out of 288. So that's pretty cool. So this one would be a treasure bottle. It's hand numbered and everything. And then same with this one. This is just a regular Hoven. This is one of the first ones that came out as well. It's a little bit different. It has no tag on it. But you could only buy it at one place, and I forgot what it was. I think this was before they started doing hang tags. But on here, it's also signed. And it looks like Sharpie. Looks like it'd be barrel 23. And then bottle number 26 out of 286. We'll say that. So that one would be a treasure bottle too. Anything hand numbered, hand signed, also is autographed by him. Sticking with single barrels, we have some of the original Corridos here that are special. I have enjoyed this one, but this is also one of the first Corridos, and it is a single barrel too. And this is their extra añejo. And back here, it was barrel number 2, and this was bottle number 62 out of 210. That's what that is. So this certifies that it was. And then yeah, this was very delicious. So if you ever find one of these old Corridos single barrels out in the wild, grab it. Extra añejo. Here's the single barrel añejo that they have. This one's obviously full. I haven't opened this one yet, but it also is limited edition. It is let me see if I can get that right. Barrel 195, and this is number 60. Let's see. Am I reading that right? Oh, sorry, barrel number one, sorry, bottle number 195. And then there's the barrel number 68C14. So that was that. And then it's hand signed right here too. So these old Corrido single barrels are very sought after treasure bottles for sure. And then Corazon Esprossiones did a limited edition run. They still doing it today, but these are the original ones from 2013. If you have the 2013s, they are especially treasured after because they didn't make very many. This is the seed stock Blanco that was used in all those, and you could only get it in this. This is they only did 5,172 bottles of this Blanco. So if you want to taste the seed stock, that's the only way you could do it. And then they aged them in certain barrels. I think there was 5 total. I only got the 3, and these 2 right here. Old Rip Van Winkle. Sorry, that's a tongue twister. From 2013 also. You can see the barrel number and the bottle number. They never did put how many they made, but I'm sure it was pretty low. Right there. And then here's the one just rested in a Buffalo Trace barrel from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And these are hand signed. They are different. And then this one is bottle number 5092, again from 2013. If you look at the signatures, they are definitely, some are better than others. So these are all hand numbered and hand signed also. So these early 2013 ones are definitely treasure bottles that you want to seek out. Next that I have for treasure bottles too are the El Tesoros. We're going to start to the newest and go backwards. So let's start with the 80th. These are tall bottles. This is the 80th anniversary. 85th anniversary is this year, actually. So the 85th anniversary bottle is coming out soon. So that would be a treasure bottle as well. So this is Extra Añejo, aged 8 years. This is bottle number 441, signed by Carlos Camarena. And then up here, it has some more information. It was aged 8 years at 41.5% alcohol. It's a 750 mil. And the cask, I don't know if you can see that. The cask wood is bourbon bottles. So these 80th ones are pretty sought after too. I don't know if we can ever see that lot number there. Maybe we can use this Mickey Mouse. There we go. So lot EA 80th Añejo 1. And you can see there it was in 2017 it was bottled. So that's a good treasure bottle. Then they had their 75th anniversary. And this one again, hand signed and hand number or printed on there. 508 a 750, but it is hand signed by Carlos Camarena. There are some of the later ones that were not signed by him. They look more printed. But this one's for the 75th anniversary of them. So these are treasure bottles as well, hand numbered, hand signed. And then we come to the ones that are definitely super treasure bottles. These are the 70th anniversary ones. These are the ones that they put out that were insanely good. This is one bottle I had right here, and a couple different things on these. This is kind of the typical one, bottled by hand. Has a number on it, limited edition of 12,042. And then there's the bottle number on this one. This one is going to be extremely hard to see. Let's see right there. Let's do this trick again. Oh, here, this might be bad. Yeah, there we go. EA 70th Añejo batch 1. This was on 2007 also, but it was on the 26th of July. So July 26, 2007 was when this one was bottled. And if you look, it has the number and that. Then under here it has 100% agave. Because if you look, this bottle here I have is a very early bottling of it. It does not have the 100% agave sticker on it. it is missing. So they had to put the sticker on it. And then this one, when we turn this one around, you can see the bottle by hand. On the one on the left, this is bottle number 139. And if you know the 70th anniversary story, you know 777 is a huge deal for this one. So this was bottled by hand on 777, and it was number 139. This could have been at the party that they had for the release and the celebration of it. This one is still sealed. This one's special. Let's see if we can just have to go white. You can kind of see right there, EA 70th Añejo 001. But if you look at the bottling date, it's all 7. So this was bottled on July 7th of 2007. So that was the special date that was bottled on that one. So that one is definitely a treasure bottle on that one. Low number, bottled on the date that it was significant of all the 7s on it. And it's missing the extra añejo sticker on it. It never had it. So yeah, that's a special bottle right there. So these are treasure bottles. Any of the anniversaries, hand numbered and hand signed, are awesome. So seek those out. And if you get a chance, try it, because this, of all the anniversary ones, the 70th just is awesome. It's so good. So, all right, let's go to the special bottles that could be treasure bottle to you. Okay, welcome back. Okay, now we are going to do treasure bottles that are special to you. So these can be a combination of one of the other categories that we covered, plus something special and sentimental to you. Okay, so starting first, this bottle right here is a treasure bottle to me because I saw it at a liquor store and struck up a conversation with the liquor store owner. It's a display bottle, but it's of the old Malargo when they hand blown the agave plant with some of the pincas on it. And this is a display bottle. It's huge. It's enormous. I don't know. It has the 55 ml. I made so many of these bottles, but this one's special to me. So that one's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a dummy bottle. Never any liquid in it or anything like that. So that's pretty cool. So display bottles can be treasure bottles too. Like I said, this bottle right here is super old, but it was gifted to me by good friends Dave and Joy, and his dad, Dave's dad, gave it to him, and they brought it over, and I had a tasting at my house for a bunch of friends and family, and they brought this as a gift for hosting the party, which was fantastic. I just blown away by this bottle. I only know of 3, maybe 4 of these bottles in the whole world. I think 2 of them are full. This one's empty, but still, the Jose Cuervo. There's a Carlos Cuervo version too. It's not a Jose Cuervo product, but it was made in honor of Jose Cuervo, as far as I know. There's not a lot of information out there, but this bottle will always be special for its rarity, and it was a gift. So a special gift too. So I love it. Another thing, and it's a trend that I'm gonna probably jump onto also, is a special bottle that you may have shared with friends and family drinking. And I haven't done this yet, but I'm gonna start doing it, where this is a special bottle we drank when I went down to the World International Tequila Conference in 2009 and met a whole bunch of industry people. Met Grover from Taste Tequila. Early on, he was starting out his journey with Taste Tequila and everything, so he was getting going as early on. The Tequila Traveler. Who else do we see? A couple. Charbet owner Miles. Got to see the Charbet. You guys meet all kinds of cool people. The Queen of Tequila is there, but we drank a lot of these bottles at that convention, seminar, whatever you want to call it. And this bottle was special because it was one I brought back to commemorate and to remember that journey. And Tom and I and a few other friends and family who drank this whole bottle It's from 2007, but this is Herencia Historical, which by itself, if it was sealed and everything, would be a special treasure bottle too. But to me, this will always be special because it brings fond memories of that time for me. So this bottle will always be special and treasured, if you will, in my collection. Other ones, you meet the master distillers of certain tequilas that you like. We'll start with this one, which is really special. Tequila Ocho. It's a treasure bottle too. If you know about Tequila Ocho, the 2008 is an early rancho in their journey that they did. They have the single estate bottling and everything. So every year there's a different ranch. Excuse me. And this is this is like the second year. They started in 2007. But I got to meet the brand owner, Tomas Estes, at the time. He was here for a tasting, and I got to meet him, and he signed this bottle to me. It's a still sealed Reposado, and I was hoping someday to, share this with him someday if he ever came back to Denver and was able to come here. But unfortunately, he passed away, and he's no longer with us. But his son, I extend that out to him, has now taken over. And, of course, Carlos Camarena. So they're welcome. Maybe we can drink this in his honor someday. But this is always a treasure bottle for me because he signed it. And speaking of Carlos Camarena, when I was at the World International Tequila Convention, I've got to meet Carlos Camarena a few times. He was a speaker at the convention. I say convention, there's only like 12 of us there, 12 or 15 total participants, and maybe 10 of us were actually signed up for it. The other ones kind of were hanging out and being cool and everything. But I got to meet him there. I bought this bottle in Guadalajara. It's from 2009. Well, it says 2007, but I bought it in 2009. And this is where you got to be careful with the white labels. So this is not white label juice. And if you see here, lot number is B1071. It was February 19th, 2009. So even though it has a 2007 stamp on it, it was bottled in 2009, but it's not old white label juice. Okay, so you want to be careful with that. But this special bottle, because I got to meet him. We went to the distillery. He hung out with us. We got to seminar on everything that he does. He's, his passion for the agave plant and his passion for making tequila. So had to get hit. And Delta Sor is one of my top tequilas, and it has been for a long time. It started my journey for real tequila. Excuse me. Another one is Guillermo Salza was here for a tasting. We got to meet him and hang out and listen to stories at tasting at Adelita's here in Denver. Great Mexican restaurant, and they have a Oaxacan side that has all mezcals and food from Oaxaca, inspired food from there. It's delicious. I highly recommend it. But this is signed by Guillermo. This one is the Blanco, but this one is a little bit special. So this is a double treasure bottle. So it's signed by him, but also it's the famous lot 16. So that's another thing with treasure bottles. Certain lot numbers can be treasure bottles, and we'll go over that next for modern day treasure hunting. So this is a double treasure. Has the lot 16, highly sought after, delicious Blanco, and signed by Guillermo. And then my treasure bottles don't just stop at tequila bottles. I have a few mezcal bottles that I treasure too, but this one was signed by Ron Cooper in 2012 when he came here at another tasting. And Therese, an honor to be in your collection, Ron Cooper, 2012. So if you know the story about this one, this is a clear bottle, wax top, beeswax, early Del Maguey mezcal. This is Santo Domingo Orambas. So this one is very limited, very special bottle. So yeah, it's one of the first Del Magueys to be made, and he was autographed it, and that was a great time. The hand written on here too, what year and everything, what bottle number. So it's a low bottle number out of like 900 or 700 bottles, if that. So yeah, this is a cool one. Someday maybe open this one too. but that's a treasure bottle for me. So those are some of my treasure bottles that are important to me in my collection. If you guys have some, please share them. Send me some photos and stuff. We can talk about it. I'd love to see what other people have as treasure bottles that they treasure for themselves, not just because of the rarity or sought afterness. That's not even a word, and monetary value. So let me know. All right. Next, we're going to go over some of the modern day treasure bottles that are out there. All right, welcome back. Now we're going to go over some of the modern day collectible bottles out there, at least the ones I have in my collection here, which, there's a lot of them out there that I don't have, but these are some of the ones I have that you can look for going forward. But there's more. Like I said, reach out to the Facebook groups and online groups, and they can really help hone in if you're looking for a certain bottle or to find out information on what other bottles are collectible. So let's just start in. We'll jump in with some of the limited release ones that are new. This is Patron's Estate release Blanco that was made with agaves on their hacienda, and this is a one and done, I guess, until they go and grow the next round of agaves on their property. So this will be at least 7-8 years before they come out with this again, probably. So this one is a treasure bottle too. It's a great Blanco. It's a elevated Patron. Some people might disagree with these two, but for me, I think this is any of these limited release ones that are already gone, or this is from 2018 harvest and everything. So it was awesome. This is good. Another new one that's real current is this Tres Generaciones Cenobio's Batch Plata. We just did a review on this one on Thirsty Amigos. This is volume 1. This is the first one. The second one should be out now, hitting stores. But this was made at Cascaween Distillery, and it's a delicious Blanco. If you can get it for the right price, it's good, and this would be one that would be worth setting on. Because in the future, I think it's going to be real sought after once more word gets around, and they're no more made. So this will be a treasure bottle down the road. Let's see, certain let's go here. Certain single barrels from some of the Fortaleza, Tequila Ocho. Some of these places do single barrels for certain companies. I don't have one, but some of these are made with certain bourbon barrels, and they can be really highly sought after because they could be really limited. Like this one's only 240 bottles, but like if they were aged in a whiskey or a certain Scotch barrel, and pretty limited, those are really sought after. So if you look out for any of the single barrels, Añejo or Reposado, El Tesoros, I would say those would be good modern day treasure bottles. Another thing we're going to get into, let's go with Tequila Ocho here. One that just came out that's hard to find is the Puntas, the distiller's cut. This one is real limited too. There was only so many cases, so many bottles, I think only 11,000 bottles or something like that made. And it has the whole story behind it. They are going to make more, but this is the first edition. So if you have a 2021, this will be the one that's treasured. Unless the new one comes out and it's just as delicious, I would grab a bottle of it and keep it. Because something with these Tequila Ochos is that the Rancho can be really determining, and the year, vintage year, of how they taste. And they can be highly sought after. And that's where we're going to go with these next two right here. So we'll start with the 2020 La Loma. This one is really sought after for its taste. It's one of the best tasting Blancos that has come out of Tequila Ocho in a long time. Not a long time. Every Ocho is delicious, but every batch is different. But this batch is really sought after. So if you have a 2020 La Loma, or if you see one, grab it, because it is a very delicious Blanco. Another treasure bottle. There's La Tigra and La Mula. These are the first two batches that were made after they made their new distillery. So these will be sought after too in the future as being one of the first ones at the new distillery, because going forward they're going to make a lot of good tequilas coming out of there. So these, they may not be worth a lot, but they'll be treasured. Hey, I wish I had one of those old ones from the first couple batches. La Tigre was the first one. This was the second one, I believe. I never saw La Tigre, in here in the Denver area, but at least in a Blanco. And I'm a Blanco fan, that's why I got the Blancos. But La Mula was the second one made. And to go along with that, sometimes the distilleries will do a special run of their product, and sometimes they'll let you know what they did, and you have to be in the know to know what you're looking for to be able to get it. And so that's what this G4 Blanco is, where they did partial wood fermentation for the first time. Or they did wood fermentation for the first time, and they did a blend in one of their Blancos with it for the very first time. But you have to look for lot 12B. Let's see right here. Lot 12B. So every lot is the lot number and then B for Blanco. So this was made in December 13th of 2021. And it is lot 12B. So 12B is the one that they blended their new wood fermentation. And they have the Madura that just came out. I should have a bottle on the way pretty soon. We're going to do a review that is all wood fermentation and a higher proof too. So that's going to be a treasure bottle too, because I only made 10,000 bottles of it. We don't know how many bottles I made with this, but if you have to know which lot number to look for, which is special. So it's kind of like a treasure hunt for a treasure bottle. So that one's kind of cool. Going on special edition ones. One of our favorites, Fortaleza. This is the still strength. This is the batch 20 still strength that was made with agaves on their property. And then the little hang tag tells about it. This one's going to be a treasure bottle. Also, because that's the first time they did it. So lot 20 will be a special edition that you want to seek out. To go along with that, they did a Blanco lot 100. So they made, this is lot 100B. There's a special story behind this one. So this is a special edition. And it tells the story of how they did it and everything. And this is a special release. So that's why this one's going to be a treasure bottle sought after also. And then, like we were talking about earlier, certain lots. We talked about Blanco lot 16 of Fortaleza being a delicious Blanco. Word of mouth gets around. Another one that not quite as much hype, but another delicious one is lot 27. So if you ever see these out in the wild, 16 or 27, or any of the way earlier Blancos too, they're delicious too. But these seem to be a little bit elevated because it is small batch, so they are going to be different variances from batch to batch. And then another special release that Fortaleza does every year, and this is timely. This new winter blend started in 2019. I have the 2020 version. We're going to taste it on the show too. Every year they come out with a small edition of these, and you can see it says Lot Winter Blend RO2, second batch, and then bottle number 3100. So they only have so many bottles of these two. So these are really a treasure bottle too, because they're skyrocketing because there's only so many of them, and collectors are going nuts over them to get them. And so 2019 started, 2020 I haven't had 2021, and then the 2022 is coming out this year anytime now. I've seen pictures online of it boxed up, so it's going to hit the market soon. So look for that, grab it if you can. And then another special lot number. A lot of the treasure bottles will be by lot numbers going forward for today's collector. This is Fortaleza Añejo. This one, the lot number is special. This is a 42A. The other one to look for is 43A. If you know the story behind it, This is technically an extra añejo, lot 42A and 43A. There's different stories of of the ratios and stuff, but these are 42 and 43 are all XA. It was a happy mistake, I guess, for the consumer, not for the distillery, but they made this. They were scenting on a extra añejo and it accidentally got bottled as an añejo. So if you look for 42A, 43A, they are extra añejo. First time they did it, those are definitely treasure bottles out there. And it is delicious. I'm sipping and savoring this one, but because I only have one bottle of it. But yeah, this is really good. And then special bottles are not just for tequila. They also extend to the mezcal. I got a few special releases. These are Colorado only releases from Mezcal Vago. There's a lot of other mezcals down there. I'm starting my mezcal journey, but there's a lot of others. But these are special because, you know, living in Colorado, this was nice that they made these for this. There's another one coming out at a couple restaurants locally that I need to go check out. So, but yeah, these were made for the Colorado market, and I've had them. These bottles aren't open, but I've tasted these, and they are delicious. Especially this one's really good too. I really like this one. This is an ensemble, and so is this one. Madriquich and Tobla, rested in 3 months in clay. Yeah, and it tells everything about it. But yeah, these are, because they're only released in the Colorado market, there's only so many bottles of these. So these are treasure bottles too. So it goes back to limited edition. So look for those limited edition ones going forward. So you can get some of this information, like the 12B lot for the G4 was online. The distiller on their social media would post information about it. So that's really the only way you would know. So I really highly recommend going out on the social medias, Facebooks, Twitter, and Instagram, and join some groups or strike up some conversations with some people that you might look up on there and find when you search for tequila or mezcal. And you can get a lot of information for these limited edition bottles and treasure bottles going forward. So you can have these in your collection and enjoy them or trade them and do whatever you want, sit on them. Whatever you want to do is your business. So don't let anyone tell you what to do with your bottles. Okay. All right. Thanks. Salud. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for staying to the end. Hopefully that helped a little bit with your journey for treasure bottles out when you're out there going hunting for your tequila or mezcal. Hopefully if you see any of those, definitely grab them. And like I said, use those resources out there in social media for other treasure bottles that I don't have. Like I said, there's a lot of other collectors that have some that will blow your mind, and hopefully someday you can see their bottles too. I want to say thank you for joining me on this episode. I have opened up an extra añejo Tapatio Excelencia. I'm going to enjoy this treasure bottle because I do have another one, or it's over there. It's not. If you can get two of them, you can save one and open one to enjoy. But if you only have one, try to enjoy it with friends and family. I'll just make it that more special. So, for me and all the amigos, thanks for watching. Salud.